Yo, what's going on, everybody? GZTV last video until later tonight. But we have ourselves Dexter, the 5th episode in the entire series. We are starting to get back into the series after finishing Better Call Saul, and also in the background I've been watching Breaking Bad, rewatching that to kind of connect with the end of Better Call Saul. I'll also rewatch El Camino, so that's cool. Yeah. Let's get into the plot. Dexter is called to the abandoned hospital where he previously rescued Tony Tucci because they're kind of investigating it more. They're trying to look into it more because, again, they're still looking for this killer. Deborah and Dokes question Tucci when he wakes up in hospital, but Dokes is unimpressed with Deborah's ways of extracting information. He's like, this is like a teaching moment for him. He's gonna tell her to do better and stuff. She's kind of new to the homicide region of the law enforcement branch. So, yeah, she kind of needs to learn some things about how to question victims of such gruesome crimes and whatnot. He initially disapproves of her suggestion to blindfold Tucci to help him to remember his encounter with the Ice Strike Killer, but eventually relents. He's like, okay, maybe that'll put him in the same environment, maybe that'll remind him of things. Obviously, that's not a good thing you want to do to someone of a victim, that's a victim like this, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. After being blindfolded, Tucci remembers that the killer used throat lozenges, so any sort of information could help the law enforcement, and he gives them the fact that he used throat lozenges. And yeah, so now they have something to search for in his lab. They could maybe find prints. They return to the crime scene and find a lozenge wrapper in which Masuka finds a partial fingerprint. Masuka is he's like the Asian forensics guy, so he finds a partial print, so that's going to be their step further. Obviously, I don't think they find him this episode. They don't find him this episode, but obviously that's going to build up. So, Rita comforts her upset coworker Yelena, who is a new character in the story, played by Monique Kernan, and learns that her fiance, an illegal immigrant from Cuba, is missing. So now we have another killer that's kind of on the loose. There's 2 separate killers in Miami. Obviously, it's a big city. A lot happens. Sorry, I was silent because someone was screeching a chair downstairs. Rita asks Dexter to look into the problem using his police connections, and he finds a list of subjects from a past police case. So he's going to try to solve this case himself. Obviously, no one moved forward with it because it's literally illegal immigrants. You could get in trouble, if you tried to help their case. He turns his focus to Jorge Castillo, a salvage yard owner engaged in people smuggling. So he steals people, puts them in these crates, these storage crates, and then he kills them, and then he puts them in the ocean. After Yelena's fiance washes up dead on a beach, Dexter discovers that Castillo is murdering immigrants who cannot pay for their freedom. So that's kind of his target audience. So he's gonna try to or that's his target's victim, sorry, not audience. What the fuck am I talking about? So he's gonna try to lure him into doing it again? I don't know, Dexter leads Castillo into an Airstream trailer in his salvage yard, but as he prepares to kill him, Castillo's wife, Valerie, another new character played by, you guessed it, Valerie Dillman, arrives. Valerie's played by Valerie. That's kind of funny. I wish they did that more in movies, honestly, and shows. They just made the actor's name the character name, but that'd be kind of weird. It'd get kind of creepy after a while. Dexter realizes that the couple are working together and decides to kill both inside the trailer, at the same time, so they can die together, and it can be somewhat poetic, I guess. So, after doing so, he dumps their bodies in the ocean and frees their Cuban prisoners, not noticing the person watching him from the trunk of a car in the yard. Someone watches him do this, and now people are going to start getting suspicious that Dexter might be a murderer, right? In flashbacks, a teenage Dexter, played by Devin Gray, learns from Harry how to fake joy in a romantic date with a girl, and obviously we've seen in this show so far a lot of Dexter's childhood was kind of filled with fake emotion, and it's kind of sad to say, but yeah, it is what it is. But looking at the reception and all the critics for this show, some people were initially upset with the episode. I don't really care how many people watch this, but The episode's juggling of multiple storylines was pretty satisfying. The scene in which Dexter prepares to kill Castillo was terrific. Deborah and Doak's storyline was Tucci was great. It was a bit disappointing to then see Deb be a bit too quickly vindicated at the end. I don't know. The episode will go down in cable history as Dexter's finest episode to date, is what some people say. Deborah's character development was great, the downright stylish cinematography. Jorge and Valerie's final passionate words to each other were kind of too much. I don't know. Maybe the show was doing a little too much with that. The episode takes the series into a more three-dimensional direction. The episode subplots, the themes are what make Dexter compelling. Deborah's character reached a more empathetic level in this episode, so that's great. A lot of interesting key things happening that are very pivotal. The increasing complexity of Dexter's relationship with his father through flashbacks was cool. Dexter's voiceovers were the best thing about this show, honestly. And they kind of have been. It's like a really iconic staple in this show. And again, I know that these reviews aren't that long. It's a pretty straight to the point show. There's not too many intricacies. We're not really that far into the series where we can just start talking about characters. It's a good. I mean, it seems at first glance like an average murder mystery type of Law and Order type of show, but when you have a blood splatter expert that's also a murderer, it adds so much to it. So and you add his sister and only his father who knows about this. Brings up some interesting things, but yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe here in about 43 minutes. I have to take a lab exam. Wish me luck, boys. Not looking forward to it, but I only have